He's Lil Rel, actor, comedian, writer, producer, and the show Rel premieres immediately following the NFL on Fox doubleheader on Sunday, September 9th at 8 p.m., live in all time zones. Makes its time period premiere on Sunday, September 30th at 9:30 Eastern on Fox. Whoa. Look at that. A little pressure on you, Lil Rel.
Yeah, it's going to be even crazier when it's on with the cartoons after that. So.
Yeah. So where did this come from?
It's based on my stand-up material in my life. I just wanted to do a sitcom for real, and I decided to do it with Gerard Carmichael, who I did a Carmichael show with, and yeah, it's really. I guess I'm still kind of. The more I talk about it, I'm still pinching myself because I just been working.
Yeah.
So until I started doing interviews, I'm like, oh yeah, I do have a show.
All right. Well, you stole 2 movies here, Uncle Drew, and also Get Out.
Yeah.
All right, start with Get Out, because you're a TSA agent in Get Out, and you're on the phone. You're not even with somebody to act. How tough is it to act and you're on the phone?
It wasn't tough, but what was cool about it, that Allison and Daniel, they would actually be, like, we were really supportive with each other, so we'll just be, they would still be in the room on days they didn't have to come in. It was such a creepy place we were shooting at in Alabama that I think we all just decided to hang out with each other. Like, I'm like, why we got to make it like the movie? It was a really creepy town. It was really weird. Like, we all hung out all the time. It was a weird town we was in.
Did you know it was going to be this good?
I remember the first cut I saw of it, and I loved it. And I was like, yo, do I like it because I'm in it? You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't sure, like, is it good because I was actually in it? I don't know. Because I don't think none of us didn't know what was going to happen from it. Like, it was a cool surprise. Yeah.
What do people say to you when they see you?
I remember when the movie first came out, it was a lot of people just thanking me for helping him and being a good friend. Like, I would get like hugs, like, thank you, you're a good person. Like, it was a script. I mean, I am a good person, but like, I don't know if I would have did it. I would have drove to the woods for anybody. But now it's just a lot of people. Like in the airport, the TSA agents are always excited, and I'm proud of, like, because I was talking to another actor. He's like, are you tired of people talking to you about Get Out all the time? I'm like, no. Like, a lot of us don't get a chance to do like a good classic movie. You could do I know people that do a bunch of movies that you don't even really remember like that, but to do something that people still remember and talk about, I'm okay with that.
I think you should do a Funny or Die as a TSA agent. So just do something at the airport and be your character at the TSA.
That'll be fun to do with Will Ferrell. Like, if we both like threw on some mustaches and just
be a TSA agent.
TSA agent for a day.
How good would you be as a TSA agent?
Well, you know what's funny? We don't take their jobs. The TSA is like they're to help us. Yeah, they're really like our saviors. To be quite honest with you, when you think about it, these regular people that I don't know they're training that great, but like they're supposed to stop terrorists, and they don't have any weapons. Like,
could you have stopped a terrorist? Your character in Get Out.
Oh, definitely. Like Rod was committed. You know what I mean? Like, when he went to the police and told them basically we trained just like you knew he was a cocky guy.
Also, Uncle Drew, you were great. And as I told you, and I meant this, when the movie was done, we immediately reached out to the PR people because they said, who do you want to have on the movie? And I said, we want Lil Rel. And then I find out that you're a fan of the show. So it's great to have you in.
This is fun to actually be sitting. First of all, I'm a sports fan. And Uncle Drew was one of those movies I did because I am a basketball fan. Like, I don't even remember what the pitch was for me to do it. I just remember it was like, I'm about to say yes. Like, I remember the producer talking to me about it. I don't know why we talking. I'm going to do it.
Who did you want to talk to the most out of all those great basketball players?
Chris Webber. I was a huge 5'5" fan, and Chris Webber's still one of my favorite powerful. So it was kind of weird. So I remember the first day, I think our first table read, and I was like preparing myself, like, I'm going to go speak to Chris Webber. I'm going to tell him I'm a big fan. And before I was able to say anything, he was like, yo, I'm a big fan of your comedy. Me and my wife watch it. And he was like serious, like he knew jokes and stuff. I'm like, oh, you, and I had to be like, damn, you messed up my moment. Like, I wanted to tell you I was a big fan of you. But I had I mean, he didn't mind talking about the timeout. Like, it was very interesting. Like, I had a great conversation.
Now, did
with
you
him.
ask questions or did you just listen to answers?
It was both. You know, the trade was happening at the same time too, with Kyrie wanting to leave Cleveland.
Oh, Reggie told us that Kyrie got traded during the shoot.
We were shooting the club scene, and Kyrie's brother whispered in his ear. Well, this is why we shooting. It's like it got to be footage of him just walking on set in the middle of a scene to tell Kyrie what happened. And Kyrie was really excited about coming to Boston, and I thought that was really cool. And it was weird too because I was watching sports, and like I watch sports stuff. So I had to me and Kyrie had a read the next day, and to not bring it up was like, I'm gonna ask him, like, man, you good? I just watched Sports Center. You cool, man?
You just got traded.
This one he wanted to leave. So
yeah.
That was I didn't know. Imagine you didn't even know that was gonna happen. Like, oh, wait, Kyrie wants to leave Cleveland, and you watched that the night before you got to sit down with him and read a scene, and I was like, looking at him like. Yeah, everything okay, man?
You grew up in Chicago.
Yeah.
So Bulls fan?
All day.
White Sox?
Huge Bulls fan. Cubs fan.
Cubs fan?
Yes.
All right.
I'm from the west side of Chicago. So
okay.
We, the west siders, we go with the north side. So, yeah.
Okay.
Huge Cubs fan. Like, I wanted the Andre Dawson curl if I could have got one.
the Jerry curl?
I wanted that Jerry curl. I had the poster where it was him, Michael, and Walter Payton in tuxedos. Yeah.
Well, how old were you when Jordan was dominating?
I watched it was a time where my parents used to make us, we had to, had to go to bed at a certain time. We had this little black and white TV we had under the bed, me and my brothers, and they would think we would sleep. And they would make us go to bed during a good playoff game. You know what I mean? Like, yo, it's time to go to bed. Like, what? And they'll be watching you and my mom talking crazy to the TV, but we had a little black and white TV, so we used to act like we didn't know. And then I used to listen to the Bulls radio too. Like they'll let us listen to the radio instead of watching, which I don't know to do. How you gonna let us listen to radio? It's the same thing. I'm still up. You know what I mean?
Did you ever meet Jordan?
I met him once.
Uh-oh.
And no, it was dope. It's I was at a sports bar, and Charles Oakley, who his boy brought him with him, and it was a bunch of fine women in this place, right? But when Mike walked in, every dude just started staring at Michael Jordan for the rest of the night. It was the weirdest thing to see a bunch of grown men just staring at him.
Were you famous at the time?
No, I was popular in Chicago for comedy, which is why I was able to say hi to. I met Charles Oakley before, and
so what do you say to Mike?
I was like, hey, Mike.
Oh, you didn't do I'm a big fan.
No, yeah, I didn't do all that because he has to hear that all the time. Like he has to know, I am a big fan. Like if I'm not a fan of you, then
yeah.
Whoever walked the mic, I don't know who you really is.
Yeah. I just came over to say I'm not a big fan of yours.
Just let you know that you're tall.
Who were your idols, comedy-wise, growing up?
Oh, man. Richard Pryor, is the godfather, but Eddie Murphy, Robert Townsend, Keenan Ivory Wayans.
You met Eddie Murphy?
Briefly, but I would love to have a conversation. I want to sit down with Eddie. It's so weird. Eddie has talked about me to other people, and I still ain't met him yet for real.
Wait, he was talking about you?
Yeah, in a nice way. Not in a bad way. Man, forget Lil Rel. Not what that, but he know who I am. So I would love to just sit down and talk to him. Yeah.
How did we come up with the name Lil Rel?
It's a basketball story, actually. It's like my Urkel story.
Wait, were you Urkel?
Well, this thing about it, I didn't know I was a nerd until I went to high school, right? Because I went to, it was a school, Providence St. Mel in Chicago. It's a private school. And I went there, and everybody, it was cool being smart. We used to pick on people who had bad grades. You getting C's? You're an idiot, you know what I mean? But
you don't get too much trash talking from that group, though.
But when I went to the public school, the high school, I remember the first, orientation, I dressed really nice. And they was like, oh, look at that nerd. And I thought they was talking about somebody else. I tapped somebody, hey, it's a nerd in here. Man, they talking about you. I was like, what? I'm a nerd. And so the first semester, first quarter or whatever, I was a nerd to everybody.
Yeah, but how can you be a nerd at a school full of nerds?
No, so I'm glad you said that. So I was at that school, then my parents couldn't afford to keep me there. They look, it's time for your brother to, look, one of y'all, you did your private school thing. You got to go to public school and putting your brother into school. We only can afford 1 tuition. So I had to go to public school. So I went from that school to public school. So being picked on, whatever, basketball tryouts happened, and they didn't know I was working on my game the whole summer with my cousin Lil Rel, who played on the varsity. So when tryouts came, man, I took these glasses off and was balling them dudes. And it's straight up. And they was like, one of the singers was like, who is that? They was like, oh, that's the Rel cousin. Oh, what up, Lil Rel? And I'm like, no, my name Milton. No, it ain't. It's Lil Rel. I was like, all right. So it was a senior gave me Lil Rel, and that's been everybody. Like, people didn't even know my real name at graduation. They said my name. They were like, who's Milton? And they was, oh, that's Lil Rel. You know what I mean?
What kind of game do you have, by the way?
I used to be a beast, man.
Well,
like
easy now.
Yeah,
easy.
yeah. I was. Because it's all like, until the point where you was like, okay, I'm not growing. If I'm not athletic like Nate Robinson, there's no way I'm making it to the league. So it's like, all right, I'm going to do comedy.
Could you hold your own, though, on the set of Uncle Drew?
With Kyrie and them? No.
No.
First of all, it was crazy watching, like, a switch went off with all, like, these are retired dudes, too.
Oh, but then they get competitive.
Man, yo, they get on like, Lisa Leslie talking about, I didn't hoop since I retired, and got on it, because it was real gameplay. Man, she had, like, 6'3" straight. And the crowd, like, it was, like, really being at the Rucker at one point where they was all in their own zone. I mean, when Chris Webber did one crazy dunk, and after that, he just left the set. Like, his knees is really bad.
If I said you could have Michael Jordan's career or Eddie Murphy's career?
Ooh. Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. I mean, Michael's is great, but Eddie's like, I look at my kids, right? They're little, but, like, they know him from Shrek. Like, he's just been great at so many different times. He was the first comedic rock star.
Yeah, but they can look down and see their shoes and see Michael Jordan.
Hey, man, look, Eddie Murphy is like, Eddie, it wasn't about height. It was all talent. Mike is still 6'6". Like, he still had a growth spurt. Like, I wonder what Mike would have been if he was still like 5'11".
Do you think he would have played in the NBA?
I don't know. Depending on how
I don't think he would have.
I don't think so neither. That growth spurt, I mean, it's funny hearing those stories about the growth spurt guy. Like, Scottie Pippen had one, too.
Yeah. You just never had it.
Nah. Look at me. This is
I
what
know.
it is.
I know. Sad. You got nothing. You got nothing going on in your
I
life.
just buy Air Jordans. This guy doesn't even play no more.
How many pairs of Air Jordans do you have?
I have a lot of pairs. I have a lot.
Do you have every pair that came out?
I think I do, actually. And along with the new colors and, you know,
What's your wife say when you do that?
Well, I'm divorced now, so she can't tell me anything.
Is that why you're divorced? Because you kept buying them there?
It's over.
Yeah. Did she get one of every shoe?
No. My kids, like, so every shoe I get,
split everything 50-50.
Nah, man, I would have fought that. Like, it would have been a real, like, fight. Like, no. You can take everything. You're not taking the shoes. You can't even fit them. You gonna give them to your new boyfriend? No.
Wow. No, you're supposed to say nice. You're supposed to say nice, right?
Yeah, that's why. Like, this is my own. Like, I think we all got our. This is my addiction. It is buying the Jordans. Yeah.
The show is Rel. It premieres immediately following the NFL on Fox doubleheader on Sunday, September 9th at 8 o'clock. A little bit of pressure there. Got a built-in audience coming right towards you.
Yeah, but it's gonna be fun. It's such a fun show, so I can't wait for people to see. I'm tired of watching the cuts. I want other people to watch it.
The series centers on Lil Rel, a prideful, self-made success who lives by the code, always believe in yourself and great things will come.
Yeah. Also a divorced man who's...
You learn his wife is having an affair with his own barber. Wait, did this actually happen?
I am not confirming anything in this show. It's loosely based on my life, and that's all I'm going to say.
Oh. Hey, congrats for your success.
Oh, thank you.
You
so
did a
much.
great job in those movies, and, we'll hopefully see you again. Good luck with Lil Rel.
Have me back, man, doing basketball season. I love it.
All right. We'll have you break down.
Oh, yeah.
No, the NBA, not break down, but I mean break down the NBA.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.